Do I look pretty relaxed?
No.
Yeah.
I owe that all to, I learned a little bit of yoga lately. I learned something about yoga, and I settled on this one move that's really changed my life. It's the corpse pose. I actually tried to learn the right word for it, but it's not coming to me right now. I'm so relaxed that I'm just like, whatever that word is, they don't give a crap. I mean, it's just a stupid Hindu word about, corpse pose. But basically, it has helped me out a lot with relaxing. And I'm gonna just come all the way back here. I might make it. A little bit about the corpse pose, because I think you all need to relax later on after this screwed up act. But so how it works is you lay on the ground. So pretend this brick is the ground, and you put your heels about a foot apart, your arms to your side, palms up, eyes closed, breathe nice and slowly. Yeah, it feels pretty good. And according to Wikipedia, if you do this right, you will achieve a state of blissful neutrality. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting there. So you could be like the Switzerland of bliss, the neutral country, Switzerland. Swiss bliss, I call it. But so why I needed that is because I'm an environmental engineer, and I was handed this really tough project. Man, am I thirsty. So that felt good. Yep. So before I learned this pose, this relaxing pose, I was handed this environmental engineering task of finding a new way to recycle people. And I'm like, this is a big job. I don't know what, I'm really anxious about this, and that's why I had to learn yoga. But so, obviously with 7 billion people in the world, burying people in the ground anymore is maybe not the most responsible thing to do, especially since we're full of, pesticides and prescription drugs and Costco hot dogs. But the alternative, cremation, is also, it takes a whole lot of energy to do that thing. And it also puts all those pollutants in the air. It releases a lot of CO2 or greenhouse gases, so that's not really cool either. So I had this assignment, and I'm thinking back, what was that show I was watching? Breaking Bad. Yeah. They had a really unique way of dealing with bodies that they needed to have. So I used that experience, and I created a really nice way to dissolve bodies. It's environmentally friendly. It uses kind of really mild household chemicals like baking soda, beet juice, and organic apple cider vinegar. In just the right proportions, it turns a person into liquid. And my boss was excited that this was working. I tried it out on my neighbor's cat. I tried it out on some homeless guy. He volunteered. He was really, I want to give my body to science. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm for the homeless people, but really, so it got to the point where, so it's called the Flush It funeral. It's basically how it turns out. And I've been trying to come up with a catchy song for the public service announcement, but so far I'm just like, flush it, flush it, flush it, flush it, flush your body, flush your body. But it's like, my boss is going, no, we're gonna have to come up with something else that's fucked up. But that's not what I'm supposed to, that wasn't really part of my job. So 2 weeks ago, we had the opening or the public groundbreaking for this. It was up at the community center on Mount Lemmon, a beautiful mountain place to have a funeral. And we got everything set up. The media was there. There's a lot of stuff going on. And one thing I didn't tell you though about the corpse pose. I gotta get back to that because that's gonna come in here in a minute. Am I thirsty? Oh yeah. Be careful if you do that corpse pose, because I gotta give you this advice, otherwise I'd feel bad if something happened. If you're doing it in a park or somewhere, some public place, you're laying on the ground, you're all relaxed and stuff, you can open your eyes and be surrounded by sex vultures. And these are, necrophiliacs or people that have sex with dead people, because you're laying there, you're just like, you're kind of like saying, come on, man. So, sorry to regress, but that comes into the story here. We're up at Mount Lemon, we're doing this project, the media's there. It turns out my dad also had dedicated his body to science. He'd recently passed away, unfortunately, after chain smoking for 60 years. And he wanted to do something, good, and plus he knew I was doing this project, and he realized that to ask another homeless person would just be objectionable to so many people that he was volunteered to have himself do this. So we're doing it. We're in this nice vessel. We're adding the apple cider vinegar and having a quiet memorial and officiated by a minister. And it's going pretty good. It's really peaceful. It's not objectionable. But one thing I hadn't taken into account was these mild household chemicals don't dissolve people's lungs who have smoked for 60 years. So it's like instead the baking soda makes them inflate, they get caught in the filter, the tank's overflowing, people are screaming, the boss is yelling at me, you're fired, it's like, you're never gonna work in this town again. And I'm just shattered because I'm too young to retire. So I just had to run out of the room. And I'm like, I'm gonna have a heart attack. This is the worst panic attack I've ever had. I went out behind the community center there at Mount Lemon and just laid on the ground and remembered this, this pose. I gotta get myself calmed down here. So I lay down on the ground with my feet about a foot apart, my arms at my side, palms up, eyes closed, taking some deep breaths. Oh man, okay, I'm starting to calm down, but then I feel a hand on my leg. Yeah, you guessed it. Sex vultures. So, and I'm like the roadkill special of the day. So, you can imagine maybe what happened or didn't, but on the way back down the mountain, in the trunk of their car, I'm thinking, I've never really felt this relaxed before. This is way better than my day job. And I've been hanging out with them a lot since that. As I finally met some people that understand me, kind of like what I like and what I don't like. So my only advice is, and I gotta go, but sometimes it's not so bad to take it lying down. My name's Eric Nelson. Have a good night.
Eric Nelson, ladies and gentlemen.